all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them. Only you. Rip and tear until it is done.
Alright guys, Stevie P Gaming coming at you. We're going to talk about id Software, and we're going to talk about Doom. Alright, so we got Doom Eternal, which I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a bad game. It's definitely not a bad game, alright? It might be... There are some things that you would say that this is probably one of the best FPSs of all time. I get it, and it kind of is. It kind of is. But a lot of... I'm not saying it's a bad game, guys, but we have generational gaps and issues here in between what great FPSs are. You know, like, I grew up with Half-Life and Doom 3 and Fear and Quake 4, and yeah, I mean, this game, it's not a bad game at all, and I'm not saying that, so don't, you know, get your panties out your butt cracks and just like, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm not a fan of these zoomer shooters where it always got to be faster and faster and faster and faster. The slow, tense, like, you know, in these new Doom games, you play like some superhero or something, and I'm not saying it's not hard. Oh, I'm telling you, Doom Eternal is... If you try to beat Doom Eternal on the hardest difficulty, I give you props. I wouldn't even attempt it, and it's not necessarily the speed, but it's not an easy game. It's not an easy game, especially on harder difficulties. So that isn't the issue or the problem. We're having bigger issues or problems with things that don't necessarily have to do with the difficulty or the speed. The slower, I don't know. I like slower horror with more suspense. But, you know, it's objective. It is. You know, like, we're playing some Doom 3 here. I like, especially on higher difficulties, like, I like that suspense. And it's not just Doom 3, it can be a ton of different games, but like, where, like, you're scared to even move forward. Like, you move forward and you gotta look around, and you move a little bit more forward and you're looking around at everything, and like, you know, there's horror and suspense, and I don't get that type of feeling from the new Doom games. I don't get the feeling of being trapped or isolated or scared, even though the difficulty might be hard and you might be dying. It's more like you just run around as fast as you can, kill everything you can on the screen, move to the next area, rinse and repeat. And I know if the music is really good and the graphics are really good, it's fun, it's entertaining. It's not, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it just doesn't have that suspense, the horror element to it, the suspense, the survival. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not gonna argue and fight with people about it, but in my opinion, I like the older games. If there were something kind of in the middle, because I think that Doom Eternal could work. Well, it already sold tons of copies, so it did work, but it shouldn't start out that way. Like, let's say you had something really slow slow suspense horror in the beginning, in the beginning. And then as you go further, you unlock things, you get stronger, you get faster. What if a game started out like really slow, like Doom 3, for levels and levels and levels, and you progress slowly? And then by the end of the game, you're that overpowered superhero for a few levels. I think that would be a banger of a game. You know, the biggest problem with Doom, or the new Dooms, and even the Dark Ages, is like it's so fast and overpowered right from the beginning. I'm like, is this the last level of the game? It gives me no sense of progression. I want to earn it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not making any sense, but that's just the way I feel, you know? I want a combination of both. I want to start like a little turtle reptile thrown out on the land, running my butt crack off just to survive, and then slowly earn that over time, and then get to be that overpowered superhero.
All the wickedness.
All right, guys, see you later. Have a good one. Wherever you're at, have a good one. Bye.
Free!